Aquarius, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late September 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Aquarius collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What we got for the Aquarius collective in late September? What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Aquarius. Late September, what's the vibe? What's the energy? Let's get this card out nice and quick. What is happening for my good friends? Thank you. Cool. I got this one in the Aries reading too, and it always feels like very imaginative and dreamy and spiritual. It just really reminds me of a water sign. And I always mention it in the Aquarius readings, especially for beginners, that, you know, Aquarius, you're the water bearer, but you're not technically a water sign, you're an air sign. But for some reason, water sign energy is showing up here in a really, really big way. You might just have a lot on your mind. There's just a lot of layers. If you look at the card, there's a certain complexity to it. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the September subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card. So as you can see, we have this woman. She's in a bit of a fetal pose. She could potentially be like meditating, praying, kneeling, who knows. And there's a clock, and it's like the numbers are flying off the clock, and there's this etheric looking background. So to me, it can represent dreams. So for some Aquariuses, maybe spirit's like, hey, watch your dreams. Hopefully you're not having issues sleeping. And it's just the imagination is going and going and going. It reminds me of the Four of Cups too. So this beautiful creative energy could be on tap for some of you. So whether it's art, music, any form of self-expression, highly favored when this card shows up. I would say the only thing to watch out for when this energy is here is not to get trapped in fantasy land too much. Don't let your mind rule you too much. And I know that's easier said than done. Depending on what you're going through, there could be something that's like really on your mind and you can't stop replaying it. And again, if this isn't you, it could be someone you're connected to where it's like, I can't stop replaying it. It's like I'm even seeing it in my dreams. So do with that what you will. Hopefully you're getting enough sleep. We're going to let that lady chill. There's a nice little thing here about prayer and meditating and connecting to your internal spirit. But we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take it how it hits for you. Let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. What do we got for Aquarius? My guide, spirit team. And while we get this shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. It was pretty wound tight. There was a strong cerebral energy last week, but a little different than this. This feels a little softer. Last week's reading was titled They Are Stressed. So hopefully you haven't been dealing with a situation that's had you really wound tight, or someone was really wound tight. That's just the vibe. So hopefully that doesn't bleed over for the next couple of weeks. Well, we're going to see what shows up this week. I already mentioned it. Only take this how it hits for you. Because, I mean, whether it's your vibe or someone else's, we're just going to read right through it. Let's get it going. 3 cards for Aquarius. What do we got here? Thank you. Okay. Nice card for manifesting. We have the 3 of Wands. I like it. It's somebody waiting on something. So interesting that we had that Oracle card that had a clock. And now we have this card that seems to be waiting. What are you waiting on? Okay. Okay. So we have the 8 of Swords, which I do believe may have showed up in your reading last week. Shown up, pardon me. Let's get one more here. Let's see what we got for Aquarius in late September. Okay. Oh, okay. Lots of air. I mean, these energies are in your comfort zone, I could tell you that. We have a strong, strong dose of karmic energy showing up here with Lady Justice on the back end. So let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. But at first look, first glance, elementally, I like where we're going because right here we have the 8 of Swords, Lady Justice, which is Libra, so air. And since you are an air sign as well, and we already covered that, this is the realm of thought, logic. It's the realm of planning, strategy. It's extremely intelligent and it's communicative. So this is like your comfort zone. This is your power zone. And then we have fire, which is another complementary energy for you. Fire is the realm of action, movement, passion, desire, burn. And it's the actions that we take and it's the actions that others are taking. So when you mix them, I always say when you mix air and fire, it can be combustible, it can be explosive. So we'll see if that theme remains. But we do have strong karmic energy here as well, and we have universal energy. So if you have been feeling quite intense, there could be this powerful spiritual energy that's partially the cause. But let's go through this piece by piece and really start to build it out. Position number one, the Three of Wands. Now we see that individual, it's like they're standing on a shoreline, they got the three wands, and off in the distance there are boats that seem to be coming in. So there's a certain sense of anticipation with this first card where it's like, I'm just waiting on it any day now, any second. So for some of you, there might be something or someone you're anticipating or waiting on. Maybe someone's waiting on you. That could be the case. It could also just be someone doing a wait and see type of approach where it's like, all right, well, let's just see what happens. Let's go with the flow here. Let's roll with the punches. Nothing wrong with that. This is a huge card of manifesting and creating. And to me, I always say it's like, something's coming your way. When I see this card, it's like, oh, something's almost here. It's almost there. So again, I'm not sure what you might be anticipating or manifesting, but it's almost here. Now, the issue with the Three of Wands is sometimes it could be a little too stagnant. It could be a little too firm. So sometimes I do see it as a bit of a problematic energy because it's not doing nothing, right? It's kind of just waiting and letting something, let it all come to them. And nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with being magnetic and drawing things to you. But in its rougher sense, it's not doing anything. Like it's kind of just lingering, if that makes sense. Oh, Lady Justice wanted to come along. Now, moving to the middle, as we get this Three of Wands back where it belongs, we have the card that pretty much sums up what we were seeing in last week's reading. We have the Eight of Swords. Now, again, this imagery does look a little rough, but I'm going to tell you it's not all fire and brimstone. It doesn't have to be worst case scenario. The Eight of Swords does have some positives as well. It's a very fast moving energy, it's not slow. But the challenge of it, or the problem with it, is that it is wound tight. It is on edge. It's anxious. It's nervous. It could be feeling trapped. So when we combine the Three of Wands with the Eight of Swords, it's like, I'm stuck. I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place, or I'm stuck. I'm trapped, which I think is an illusion because that also ties into this card. So watch out for the overthinking. Watch out for dwelling on things too much. But when I see the Eight of Swords, it's an energy that you can be freed from. Notice this person has eight swords. The ropes around them are loose. Yeah, there's a little bit of mystery here with the what ifs. But the thing I love about the Eight of Swords is that you can be freed from it, and it's an energy that comes and goes quickly. So as quick as something starts up, that's as quick as it can be handled. So good. It's not lingering. This card lingers. The Eight of Swords does not. Now, moving to the back end, we have what I believe might be the cornerstone of the reading. We have Lady Justice. Now, at the time of this reading, we are on the cusp of moving from Virgo season into Libra. So maybe it's something about the time frame we're moving into. Maybe you're connected to Libra. Maybe you have Libra placements yourself. She is a very complex card, and she could represent a lot of things. She could represent contracts. She could represent legal situations, legalities, court, anything you put your signature on. So for Aquarius is in this time, anything you might be signing, just read it twice, three times, four times, and make sure like everything's in order. This is a card of fairness. It's a card of balance, but oftentimes it's the universe balancing the scales. Justice can also represent authority. So for some Aquariuses, maybe there's a situation where you're the authority or you're taking control of it. But a big thing with this card is the karmic archetypes, the universe grabbing the wheel and balancing the scales. So whether it is a karmic shift, a change, a situation, someone catching a dose of karma, a test, we're just going to have to look at the other little clues we get throughout the reading. Lady Justice in her challenge can sometimes represent someone that's too harsh. Lady Justice can also represent something that you might perceive as unfair. So watch out for stuff like that. But I want to dive deeper on all of it, Aquarius. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. All right. Let's get a good shuffle here for my Aquarius friends, please. What is happening? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on the Three of Wands, see what this waiting's about. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Aquarius, you can drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, let's get this three. Why is it here? This is someone like really trying to time something perfectly. I don't know who it is. I don't know if it's you or somebody else, but when I see the Nine of Wands in reverse, it's like, nope, everything has to be perfect. I'm waiting for the perfect time. Now, I do know in my experience in life that sometimes the perfect time never comes, right? Now, I'm not telling, like, if that's you, if there's something or a situation where you're just waiting on the stars to align, you do what you got to do. You know your life better than I would. But just keep in mind, sometimes not everything is going to be ideal. Sometimes most of the stars align. Sometimes there is no perfect time. But when I see the Three of Wands with the Nine of Wands in reverse, it's like an energy that's ready to pounce or make a move, take an action. But it's like holding itself back. It's like, no, I'm waiting, just waiting on that perfect time, waiting on that green light. So I don't know who this person's waiting on a sign from, because that's another thing I'm picking up where it's like I'm just waiting on the perfect sign. I'm waiting on that green light from the universe. So there is impending action here. Now let's talk about the Nine of Wands. Usually in the upright, this is the wounded warrior. It can represent blockages, it can represent rejections, it can represent barriers and things holding people back. So when I see it in reverse underneath this Three of Wands, it's like, all right, there's nothing holding this energy back. It's just waiting for the right time. Like this person or this energy can make a move really whenever it wants. Like this energy has a lot of freedom, but what is it waiting on? Right? Like who or what are you waiting on? What sign are you waiting on? Let's keep moving. Let's keep moving. We're not going to go too far, and I think you get what I'm saying. So again, whether that's you or somebody else, it's just waiting on the sign, perfect time. Let's keep moving over. Let's keep moving over. So why is the Eight of Swords here? Why is it in the mix? I really want to get to Lady Justice, that's for sure. Thank you. All right, so we do have the Page of Cups in reverse. Somebody could be much bothered by something, much more bothered by something than they're letting on here. And again, I'm not saying it's you, but when I see the Page of Cups under the Eight of Swords, it's like, I'm feeling rough, but I'm never going to tell them how rough I'm feeling. That's kind of the vibe I'm picking up, or they'll never know how difficult this is on me. It's like giving me that kind of vibe. Like there's a lot of suppression going on in the center here. Now, I am a big believer, depending on the subject, that sometimes just getting something off your chest is a good thing. So, whatever situation you're going through, whether it's talking to a friend, talking to a professional, talking to somebody, it's good to release that because words and thoughts are energy, and they can build up, and they build up, and they build up, and they build up. But when I see the Page of Cups in reverse, it's like, but who am I going to talk to about this? Who's going to understand me, or who's going to understand this situation? So I know that we're getting hyper specific here, Aquarius. Only take it if it hits. But again, this energy that's presenting as on edge, anxious, or nervous might feel like they don't have anyone to talk to, or that no one will understand, or that no one gets me. It's kind of teenager like, right? Like, when you're a teenager and you got all the hormones raging and you're like, the world doesn't understand me. It's like giving me vibes like that. And not to be like an edge lord. Let's just keep moving. I hope I'm making sense. But let's see what Lady Justice has. So if there is someone having issues, and this could also be someone stressing because they haven't heard back from something too, where it's like, all right, well, I'm just waiting on something. So it's like both of these energies are waiting. This energy is waiting on the perfect time, waiting on the sign. This energy is just waiting on anything, where it's like, all right, anything, any day now, give me something, give me a glimmer of hope. So let's keep going. This is pretty complex. So again, only take what hits for you. Let's see what Lady Justice has, though. Let's see what Lady Justice has for Aquarius. Okay. And it's like the universe will come in and balance the scales. Okay. So we do have strength. So maybe all this waiting is a blessing in disguise and a good thing. Listen, I'm an Aries. My sun sign is Aries. I have a lot of water placements, but my sun sign is Aries. I have other placements there. So I'm usually an action type of person where it's like, screw waiting. I'm doing this. I want to do this. I don't want to wait. I want it now. I want it yesterday. But when I see Lady Justice with strength in reverse, it's like, all right, well, maybe holding back was a good thing, because to me, it's like the universe, the karmic energy is taking hold of a situation. That's how it feels to me, where the universe is like, let me steer this, let me take the wheel. Now, strength in reverse can sometimes represent temptation. Sometimes it can represent something that's hard to control, something that you might need assistance or help with. And when I see it in reverse underneath Lady Justice, it's like, I got this. Like, I'm taking control of the situation. So again, whether someone is going through a karmic transformation or change, or this is the universe saying, like, listen, Aquarius, don't even worry about it. I'm going to serve up that karmic dose. That could absolutely be it. Because if this was in the upright, if strength showed up in the upright, I would say, all right, that seems softer. It seems nicer. It seems delicate. When I see it in reverse underneath Lady Justice, it's like, oh no, I'm coming. And like something is long overdue. That's another thing. Like the karmic energy, the karma getting served, it feels long overdue, especially with all this gunked up stuff here in the beginning. So again, just strap in. The karmic energy is in play, and sometimes we can control certain things, sometimes we can't. So the universe is going to take the wheel. Let's go through and do a quick recap, then we'll get into the shadow. A lot of hyper specific stuff here, Aquarius. So please feel free to check your other alignments. But position number one, we started with the Three of Wands and the Nine of Wands in reverse. To me, this felt like someone that's ready to pounce, or that's like waiting on the perfect time, waiting on the right thing, waiting on a sign, where it's like, all right, there's nothing holding me back but me. Where it's like, I could do something at any time, but I'm going to wait. So it could be someone being cautious, but why? I don't get why. I don't understand why the wait, because not like sometimes the perfect time never comes. Moving to the middle, like why delay it? Moving to the middle, we have the Eight of Swords with the Page of Cups in reverse, and this did feel like someone holding things in, where it's like no one will ever know how much this is affecting me. I'm never going to say a word about it. No one understands me. No one gets me. It's like that type of energy showing up here. So if those are things that you're feeling, maybe you need someone to talk to. Like, even if it's someone that doesn't understand you, you don't need someone to understand. You just need someone that's not going to judge you. That's what I'll say about that. Um, and it could just be stress about not hearing back from something as well. So, really wound tight. Moving to the back end, though, it's like the universe takes the wheel in a situation. This is most definitely karma getting served up in one way or another. Hopefully, it's a good way, but it's like the universe saying, like, all right, well, if you're not going to handle it, if you're not going to handle it, I'll handle it. So do with that what you will. Like, the energy is going to do what it does, and it's like if neither of these energies handle business, the universe is going to come in with that karmic energy and move things along. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. It is a bit of a karmic warning. I'll say that. Um, let's get a shadow card. Let's see what we got. And I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end here just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge, they could be a good thing too. So let's get you one. And yes, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this shadow card going. What do we got for my Aquarius friends? Quick, nice and quick. High Priestess. Okay. She is a card that belongs in the shadows. She's a huge card of secrecy. She is a card of the hidden, the unknown, the esoteric, things that not everyone knows about. So, like with all the suppression and waiting, and it makes sense when we see the High Priestess, even with the karmic energy we have here on the back end. Now, the good thing about the High Priestess, she's the matron of psychics, intuitives, and tarot readers. She could speak about your intuition trying to tell you something. So, again, with this showing up in the shadows, it's Spirit saying, like, all right, Aquarius, listen to your gut on this, listen to your intuition on this. But her dark side is secrecy, right? So, just like this energy we have here in the middle, where it's like, I'm not going to say nothing because they won't understand or they won't get me. When we have her in the shadows, it's like either there's a piece of information that you're not quite seeing, there's like a dot that you haven't connected yet, or it's someone being a little bit secretive. Okay, so we're just going to leave it at that, Aquarius. Yeah, that's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the September subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation, you could book a personal reading with me at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. The September calendar is already live, so we could have ourselves a little chat. But for the September subscriber surprise, giving away 3 copies of one of my favorite decks ever, the Everyday Witches Tarot. It's great for beginners and experienced readers. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the zodiac signs, which ones do you get along best with? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As usual, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.